Alright guys, Senior Fran here, doing a little YouTube video to show you the chapter opener for our last chapter, chapter 9. Now if you notice, the theme is Las Fiestas, and there's a young lady, una quinceañera, and she's getting it done. Alright guys, the contexto vocabulario is parties and celebrations. You see that? I had a little trouble in my Kaltura, so I'm just going to do it on YouTube, but this should be pretty, we'll get it done like this. Notice the vocabulary: party celebrations, personal relationships, and stages of life. Now this is going to be a very practical look at that, a use of that. The fotonovela we're going to skip, the cultura, we're going to skip the Semana Santa. I might mix in a personal culture lesson, but that's, for right now, we're not going to worry about that. But here's the thing that I want to focus on. Now you can, follow along with me if you want to open up your book to chapter 9 as I go through. But on the estructura, if you notice, there are four sections there: irregular preterites, verbs that change meaning in the preterite, que and cual, and pronouns after prepositions. Those recapitulación is like a review of all of them. The last two, que and cual, and pronouns after prepositions, we're going to throw out. Those are lesser, smaller themes of grammar. In our department, we have made that decision. Look, if you're going to be a Spanish major or minor, or if you really want to learn Spanish, excuse me, obviously those are going to matter. But for us, for the sake of our test, we're not going to worry about those. So let me just see if I can focus. The big one is going to be irregular preterites, guys. Starting on page 310. That's going to be a huge page for us. Now, one thing I'll tell you, sorry about moving around a little bit. One thing I'm going to tell you about that, though, is that for Sunday, I'm going to be assigning homework with a lot of those, a good bit of those. And I'm also going to include in that a tutorial. So don't forget, that tutorial for this form especially is very useful. You can fix your little hot tea, kind of sit back and watch that about 15 times, and it'll help. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and back away. So here's look at this explanation. Whoa, una fiesta. Whoa, qué bien. Mira, él está bebiendo mucho. Bebe mucho. Están bailando. Los novios. Los recién casados. Y mira, pastel, flan, galletas, postres. So we've got a good exposition of verbs here. Casarse con, divorciarse de, enamorarse de. And over here, there's on the left side on page 300, there's some good verbs here. If you notice at the top, there's a number of cognates like, aniversario. We know cumpleaños, divorcio, matrimonio. Lots of good verbs here. Now down below, if you look on down at the bottom, let's see, where's my finger? There it is. Look at that. Pasarlo bien, pasarlo mal. That's one you're going to see probably, and it's kind of a weird. See the way the pasar has the direct object pronoun there. Pasarlo bien. That's just what that is. Now it means to have fun or to have a bad time. It means like to pass it well. So don't forget, when you ever have a pronoun like that, when you conjugate it, move it around to the front before the conjugated verb. So, for example, if I said, I had fun at the party, it would be lo pasé bien en la fiesta. Did you have a good time at the party? Lo pasaste bien tú en la fiesta? See how that works? Pretty simple. Yeah, sorry about my video quality. I need to clean it up in post. No, it's not good. I had a Cultura video loaded up, and my computer's on the fritz. My little computer over here is acting crazy. But look, now on page 302, I like this, and we're probably going to see some of these. These are the stages of life: nacimiento, niñez, adolescencia, etc., etc. Now notice, nacimiento is birth, isn't it? The el renacimiento is the Renaissance. Remember that word, the Renaissance, the rebirth. So it's el renacimiento. And there's some good, useful vocabulary there. It's practical vocabulary regarding like life stages and personal relationships. So just saying. Move it along through the book. The fotonovela, our friends, we're going to miss them, unfortunately. Too bad. Semana Santa. This is the one. This, guys, is the page for us. Page 310. You do not want to miss this page. This is the page. Couple of things. This is preterite. These are irregular preterites. So basically what I'm going to tell you is that these verbs have irregular stems, like notice down here. See, there are three types, the U stems, the I stems, and the J stems. There are 9 of these. These are ones you are going to want to learn. Basically, all of these have the similar irregular endings, not so different from the AR and ER regular endings, but they are different. These are irregular endings. And these have irregular prefixes, don't they? For example, look at poder. Can or to be able to is what that means. So what if you want to say like, I couldn't go to the party last night. Could you go? Yo no pude ir a la fiesta. ¿Tú pudiste ir? See what I did there with that? Or look at poner, to put. The irregular prefix is pus. I put the keys on the table. Yo puse las llaves en la mesa. See how that works? Pretty simple, really. Just got a bulldog, learn these endings, and learn these different irregular prefixes. And one note, a couple of irregular notes I'll make is look at hacer. See that? See hacer there? The stem is is, and if you look over to the right, the conjugations are ise, hiciste, hizo. See that Z in hizo? The reason that's not a C, but it's a Z is because if it were a C, the CO would make that a hard C sound, like eco. So we can't have that. So that Z's in there to have the consistency and sound, which we talk about. It's so important. Another thing of note is that with these J ones down the bottom, traer, conducir, y traducir. Traer is to bring. Conducir, to drive. In Spain. In Mexico, they say manejar. Conducir is to drive in Spain. Traducir, to translate. These irregular stems end with J. And if you notice, where's my finger? There it is. The AO's form does not have an I in it. You can see it up here as well. See that with decir is another one. It's dijeron. It's not dijeron. If you say it fast enough, say it with the I. Dijeron, dijeron. That J just kind of naturally cuts straight over to the E. And that I just sort of naturally sloughs off phonetically. If you say it and think about it, it makes perfect sense kind of phonetically. A couple of little things of note. So guys, this page is going to be hugely important for us. And really the chapter is going to revolve around this grammar point. Okay? Now, there's some good practice. Actually, you'll see some of this practice. All of these activities are in the super site. Now, here's the verbs that change in meaning in the preterite. Now, guys, basically, just to explain the first two, we know that in present, conocer means to know. But if you use conocer in a past preterite event context, it means to meet. If you think about it, it makes sense. Like if I say I know Mark, I'll say yo conozco a Mark. But if you say I met him, it'd be yo conocí a Mark. So because kind of knowing in a preterite event is meeting. Does that make sense? It does to me. Same thing with saber. Saber is to know something, like to know information. But if I find out in an event, like I find out what I made on the test, that's an event, isn't it? It's a preterite event. Same kind of idea. To know in the present tense, but to find something out in a preterite event context. Like for example, I found out what I made on the test. Yo supe lo que saqué en el examen. Same kind of basic idea with poder y querer. So this is kind of a subset of that other section. And guys, here's can qual, skipping that. Same thing here with pronouns after prepositions. And really, now, believe it or not, guys, this is a lectura. This is a good additional practice if anybody wants. You can find this in the super site under lectura. And there's some activities associated. There's actually some really good little readings. They're like announcements, social announcements. And it's actually quite good. I would encourage you to do that on your own time in the readings. And then finally, I wanted to point out that on page 330, yeah, here it is. Don't forget, this is your vocabulary page. It's got all the good information. So this, along with those the regular preterites, are going to be so important for you. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn this around on me. I wish you all the best. You know that Senior Fun has got your back. Be looking out for an email from me explaining the homework. It's due Sunday night. There it is, guys. Take care.